the finale, Kerbal Scuffed Program 4, War, by MartinCitoPants. Funny Frogman. Oh. Oh. Kevin! Kevin! YouTube has been getting really on my case about copyright, so I am... Any songs, I am just tuning these down.
That's not good.
That's not good. I'm trying my best to avoid copyright. Maybe? I forget that his cinematography actually is like you can see his modern approach start to form here. This is actually really cool. I mean, the soundtrack does slap. He chose the appropriate soundtrack for this, and he's getting a lot of really good shots. Like, this is actually really cool.
You know what? I'm gonna go. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
The tap, tap, tap.
Yeah, see you later, idiots.
Zoom? Is this the prequel to the My Summer Car? Because he's in a car in space. Oh, it's perfect. No, the music slaps. I just can't because YouTube right now. He's just vibing. So here's the thing: is that this music could be copyright free. You could use it in this capacity without fears of copyright. However, copyright's been very, very rough for the past month as of recording this, so that is why it is lowered in volume. I do apologize about the inconvenience, but you can always go watch the original, which the original will be in the description. See, you would think, chat, that game soundtracks could be copyright free. I would like to direct you to Installation 00, who is currently having to deal with Sony, of all companies, copyright claiming Halo music and it being upheld by YouTube. So for that, you know, congratulations to Sony for apparently, allegedly owning Halo copyrighted music.
Oh. Hey, guys. Jimmy. Where'd he go? He drove away in his space car.
Space car.
Wait. What? Wait. Can I at least have my phone? What?
What?
Oh, I mean, yeah, sure. All right. Well, I'm just gonna watch some YouTube now. I guess you guys can leave.
Oh.
True that.
True that? Oh, boy.
This is the lockpicking lawyer, and what
Oh my god!
today
is lockpicking lawyer. Oh my god, it's perfect.
lock made.
He would be in the back rooms. MartinCitoPants from the back rooms actually makes a lot of sense to me now that you mention it.
Wait a minute. Holy shit.
Doors?
It's my brand new plush line. That's right, boy.
Oh, he got me. I'm like, where's the ad read? Where's the ad read? And he got it. Oh, that was chef's kiss. Beautiful.
I've partnered up with Makeshift and made this little boy right here.
Boy.
Look at him. He wants to enter your house. That's right. Your very own frog in a suit. Kick him, crush him, dap him up aggressively. Don't lose sight of him. He'll sneak into your walls and won't stop knocking. Put him above you. Imposing, striking, dominant. This is a frog who thinks you are pathetic. Put him below you. Sad, apathetic, and resigned to his fate. For real, this is the single highest quality plush I have ever seen in my life. The exterior is fleece. The suit is stitched on very well. The eyes are embroidered and hard. And... Oh my God!
God, Dumpy. He got the cake though. He ain't got the cake. He got the whole bakery.
You can own one of these boys today by clicking the first link in the description or that horrible, smelly, slimy pinned comment. Do it fast. After 30 days, they will no longer be for sale. Gentlemen, I have one goal with this campaign. Sell more plushes than this goddamn stupid cat. Look at him. This fucking stupid thing. What is wrong with it? Okay, that's kind of cute. This dumbass cat has sold over 1,500 plushes, and we need to sell more. Click that link in the pinned comment and buy it. I assure you, you will not regret your decision.
I missed this one, and I'm feet. I can't show that on Twitch. Oh god, I'm gonna get taken down. Oh no, my career's over. I showed feet on stream. Oh god.
Yeah.
He's gonna touch it. He's gonna touch it.
Oh shit.
I forget that I'll have those moments when I speak just in grunts. I've done this. I've done this on a number of occasions where I've been with somebody and I'm just like, and they're like, and I'm like, and they're like, and then I'm just like, and they're like, and I'm like, and they're like, and I'm like, and they're like, and then I'm like, huh. And they're just like, and I'm like, ah. I've lived an interesting life. A whole conversation is had, though. Oh. I like that he has the plush in here too. That's actually super neat.
Hey guys, fancy seeing you again. How you been? Sir, why'd you run away? Anyway, we've set a course for Elu, which as you can see is rapidly approach.
Rapidly approach. Oh.
And would you look at that? Back at the start of the last video, stranded on Elu. Kevin has gone ahead and destroyed pretty much every base I built with his giant armada. Ouagadougou, annihilated. Urk, dead. Obson Kerman, face down in a highly corrosive lake. Djibouti, it's seen better days. And most importantly, he's murdered all the Kerbals in the KSC and taken it over for himself.
So here's the thing, is that a highly corrosive lake is the least of your worries in space. Isn't there like an actual planet we've discovered that like, it rains glass or something like that? I don't think it rains because rain is, precipitation, but like glass like falls from the sky and like the wind is so strong, it's just a storm of glass. Yeah, it rains glass sideways. Yeah, no, nature's scary. Nature's scary in space. Meanwhile, humanity's out here looking at the Magna Pina T-posing squid and is like, we're out. And I'm like, mate, you don't want to go to space. I promise.
Gentlemen, the Bean Space program is in shambles. All thanks to this rat bastard. Today, we're not building rockets. We're building weapons. Instead of fuel and oxidizer, we have gunpowder and high explosives. Instead of a noble quest to push the boundaries of discovery and science, we're here to kill, destroy, and conquer. My sources tell me that Kevin is rebuilding the KSC and has taken its 96 billion funds to build up military bases on other planets.
Okay, here we go. So I have to, because someone was like citation needed. So HD 189733B, weather and rains of molten glass. The weather on the planet is deadly. Winds composed of silicate particles blow up to 8,700 kilometers per hour or 5,400 miles per hour. Observations of the planet have also found evidence that it rains molten glass horizontally. You're welcome, chat. You're welcome for that nightmare.
Some bases are large, and some are small. Today we're going to destroy his shit-ass bases, and then I will kill him.
Oh.
Personally.
Oh.
So, let us begin.
Like, the music's great. I just can't fight that copyright anymore. It's better to not.
Okay. So first off, we need a sitrep. Kevin has in fact noticed that his hangar is empty and is currently searching for us with several hundred drones. One of those drones happens to be near us. Another thing that happens to be near us is this, the last base we built. Kevin somehow forgot about Elu and didn't destroy it. So using this base, we can build a craft with weapons. Its goal will be to destroy the search drone driving around on Elu's surface looking for us.
He float.
To do that,
He do float.
we must first learn about weapons. War.
See, here's the for YouTube TOS compliance, advertiser compliance. Clearly, these are all shown in parody. While these do show accurate firearms, these aren't actually firearms in motion. So, while I will be declaring this the way I am, I mean, clearly this is all parody. No one's actually using any such implement in the video. Just have to start saying these things because YouTube has really been cracking down.
Possibly the most ancient part of the human experience.
Okay, now that is clearly from a movie.
Apes have been killing each other for a very, very long time.
Yes.
And the first weapon used for this purpose was the humble rock.
Oh, rock
And then we
and
invented
stone.
this thing, and these, and some of those, and bam, 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 we invented chemical explosives.
Yeah.
The topic of today's lecture. Now, how does an explosive work? Well, it's all about releasing a huge amount of energy in the shortest possible time.
I mean, yeah.
If you've ever thrown a log of wood in a fire, you'd know that it burns way too slow to be an explosive.
Right.
But it does have a lot of energy. In fact, if you were to somehow release all the energy in the wood at once, it would be the equivalent of 14 M67 grenades.
Now, for YouTube TOS, clearly, because this is on camera, clearly they are taking the precautions. This is exercising proper discipline. This is exercising proper safety in a range, in a situation that this is perfectly acceptable in. Please, YouTube, do not.
So, energy matters, and time matters, which is where explosives come in.
Yeah.
A chemical explosive is a substance that can undergo a chemical chain reaction in a very short period of time. Now, all these explosives do is release hot, expanding gas, which you wouldn't really expect to be able to do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you put any alkali earth metal inside water. Have you not, the videos in science classes, anything in the first column of the periodic table, the alkali earth metals, if you throw that in water, it's just really explosive.
So, to kill Kevin's little search drone, we'll get a nice fat bomb, strap it to something innocuous, and detonate it once it's close. For this job, we'll use this. A stroller. To prevent suspicion, we need a brave Kerbal volunteer to act as the baby.
A Mogus?
Otherwise, our plan would be far too obvious.
Yeah.
The plan is simple. Drive up next to the drone and detonate the bomb. If we're seen, we play it cool and act as if we're just another baby in its
Just play it cool. Just fly casual.
stroller. Okay, enough talking. Let's go blow some shit up.
It's okay. I should be able to minimize a bunch of this. At least because he's putting up when he's using the music. Maybe? No, not yet. I am being as proactive as I can for copyright. I don't have to do this.
Excellent. The threat has been eliminated. Even better, many parts of the drone are undamaged and can be salvaged for our use in our next mission.
Right.
In particular, the radar and the guns. This will be quite useful because our next target is a satellite in low Elu orbit. But first, guns. How do they work?
Pew pew.
It's pretty simple.
You have the barrel. You have the tube. You got the hammer. You expelled the thing from the tube using a reaction. I know when people watch my channel. I'm already expecting the actual like college dissertation on this in the comment section.
Powder explodes, hot gas expands, pressure builds up behind the bullet, which pushes on it, and the bullet is shot out of the barrel.
Yeah, potassium also explodes in water. It's because it's the alkali earth metal group. Here, because people are still talking about this. Periodic table of elements. Okay, so if we go to the periodic table of elements, because we're going to learn you a thing, anything here, anything in this is alkali earth metals, right? So we have lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. Any of these are they will have a reaction in water that is generally explosive in nature, and as you go down, it will get more intense. So lithium will be less powerful of an explosion than sodium. Sodium less powerful than potassium. Potassium less powerful than rubidium, etc., etc. That's what I'm talking about, because I've heard people say potassium. I've heard people say sodium. As I said, alkali earth metal group. Man, I was okay at chemistry in high school.
At high speed. Guns have been around for quite a long time.
NaC isn't... What? NaC, that's not an element. That's a compound.
But they used to look like this, and were pretty shit. These old muskets required you to carry around 2 separate pouches for gunpowder and bullets. The powder would be poured down the end of the barrel, and the bullet will be placed on top. Then you get a big old stick and compact the powder and bullet, remove the stick, pour a bit of powder in this thing called the pan, cock the musket.
Full cock.
And finally...
Full cock. Nice.
you could shoot. 1 bullet. Then you'd have to do that all over again. Eventually, someone realized that shooting once every 20 seconds was less than ideal, and proper bullets, clips, belts, and magazines were invented. These could feed a gun as fast as its operator could chamber a new round.
Okay, yes. So for YouTube TOS, these are all professionals. They're all exercising proper trigger discipline and firearm safety, and they are doing so in areas like this, a range where they're authorized to do such. I do not condone any idiotic or unlawful acts using firearms. I do not condone that. If you do lack the proper range safety, firearm safety, and or trigger discipline, please seek out a professional that does have those special qualifications to teach you. I have said my bit in regards to legality.
But this is also far too slow. Instead of manually operating the bolt like a peasant, people realized that the recoil of the gun could do that for you. And thus, the machine gun was born.
Machine gun was born. Shows picture of an AR platform, Lamau.
Now, bullets don't actually have that much kinetic energy, but they deploy it in a fraction of a second. Take this 50 BMG round. 50 BMG rounds can do this.
You're in chemistry in college and think alkali earth metals will also lose an electron when paired with anything in column 6, the one next to the noble gases. And then column 6 will gain that electron. It'll happen over time. So they're super reactive with each other, is what you're saying, right? They like to work with each other. Interesting.
Pretty impressive. Since the bullet is 45 grams and exits the barrel at 908 meters per second, we can use this equation and some quick maths to figure out that it only has about 18 kilojoules of energy.
2 plus 2 is 4 minus 1. That's 3 click maths. I don't know why I had to say that, but that's the meme that came to mind.
Or 5 calories.
Nice.
So, we've got a gun,
5
now we need some
calories.
way of aiming it. If I take this gun and try shoot down...
So here's what we do, right, chat? We have to start measuring rather than, oh, well, my round travels at this velocity. No, this is how fast my round goes. We just need to start measuring calories.
Passing overhead,
Just
this happens.
measuring heat.
The gun is aiming at where the plane is, rather than where the plane will be, and isn't leading its shots enough to get any hits. To lead our shots properly, we need to know the target's speed, distance, and...
The missile knows where it is because the missile doesn't know where it is? Or how did the meme go?
direction it's traveling in. This is where radar comes in. Radar waves are simply another form of light with a much longer wavelength. If we shoot a bunch of radar waves at our target, a short amount of time later, we'll receive them back. Since we know how fast light travels, we can work out how far away an object is by measuring the time between sending and receiving the signal and dividing that by 2. We can also tell how fast it's moving by either taking its position at 2 points in time and finding the distance it covers, or by using what's called the Doppler effect. Basically, since the target is moving at a different speed than our radar, the radar waves it reflects will either be a little bit stretched or a little bit squished. Now, if we combine this funky radar technology with our gun, we get this. The Goalkeeper CIWS. The radar allows the gun to track a target, find its range and speed, and then aim at the exact spot it'll be once its bullets reach there.
Nice, good hit.
Would you look at that? One CIWS, ready to go. All we need to do now is wait for that pesky satellite.
A10 turret ASMR, oh whoa? Nice.
Alright, next up, we're gonna commandeer an ore tanker coming from one of Kevin's mining outposts on Bob. Now thus far, we've remained undetected, and I'd like to keep it that way. So instead of something big and flashy, we're going to build a ship with a laser weapon thing and a single Kerbal on a seat. The laser will destroy the guard drone, and the Kerbal will take over the tanker with the help of a very special weapon. This beautiful craft will be named... So let's go.
Loud does not equal funny. Also MartinCitoPants. Frongoose.
Now the guard drone is dead, we dismount our Kerbal and send him in.
Oh boy, Flammenwerfer intensifies. Yeah.
And the ore tanker has been secured. Now we can take it back to base and use its ore to make more mining stations to build our crafts even faster. But first, we've used guns. But what if I told you that we don't need gunpowder to accelerate our little projectile? Railguns.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, railguns are fun.
Regular guns use good old expanding gas to move projectiles, but railguns use magnetic fields and electricity. But why bother?
Isn't it that the barrel integrity and the components, they just get worn out so quick when it comes to modern railguns? I think that was the thing, that was the interaction.
Regular guns are just fine. It's all about speed. That 50 PMG round I was talking about earlier could go at 908 meters per second. That's pretty dang fast, right? Yes. But if you want to go faster, then you're out of luck. Gas-powered weapons rely on how fast the gas is physically capable of expanding, and 908 meters per second is approaching the upper limit.
Okay.
But railguns don't have an upper limit. In fact, the only limit on their speed is how much power you can dump into the system. So how do they work? Well, you get two conductive rails and put the projectile in between them, which completes the circuit.
Yeah.
Once you fire, a huge amount of power is delivered from capacitors into the rails, which creates an incredibly powerful magnetic field and launches the projectile forwards. These bad boys have been able to shoot projectiles at over 2,500 meters per second, which in KSP terms is orbital velocity. What we're going
Yeah. No, it's actually really fun science.
to use this technology on is this. Kevin has basically stolen the Ouagadougou design and placed it in dual orbit to collect antimatter for his fleet. Now,
Railguns use gunpowder to start the round off with energy so much the barrel literally disintegrates itself. Mark's been thinking of as Gauss weaponry. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Thank you for that.
if you remember last video, you know that per kilo, antimatter is pretty much the most explosive thing in the universe. And since Kevin's collector has a fair amount of it in storage, that makes this craft quite vulnerable. He's tried to cover for this fact by armoring up the area around the antimatter container, which is where our new railgun system comes in. The best way to cut through armor is to move faster, and railguns definitely make stuff move faster.
I mean, there's been this adage. Adage, is that the word? It's been a quote that I love. I love because it can be just related to so many things. It's easier to unload a gun than to pad a target. And really, it can be utilized in a number of ways. Like the logic is there. So increasing increasing armor around a vital component, yeah, absolutely is a tactic. But if the weapon's going fast enough, if it has enough penetrating capacity, I mean, it's not going to matter.
So all you need to do is sneak in a small ship with a railgun, aim it at the antimatter storage, sit back, and watch the single, very big gamma ray firework. For this job, we've come up with this beautiful craft.
Kind of looks like an A-wing.
Peebus.
Peebus!
So, let's go.
I'm going to lower that for copyright. Kind of looks like an A-wing, right? Like, you see it. I could see it. I don't know why the live notification is just now procking. I'm sorry about that, guys. Oh, he's a firing his laser.
Yeah! So far, the weapons that we've been using have been pretty baby. Sure, setting off an antimatter container creates an enormous explosion, but we don't have any antimatter, and we can't really make it.
No
But what we
antimatter.
do have is uranium.
Is
Uranium,
rock? He has spicy rock.
of course, can be made into bombs. Nuclear bombs.
Little dude, no!
Nuclear bombs operate on a fairly simple principle.
YouTube TOS, this is clearly for historical purposes and parody purposes. Oh.
Fission, or the splitting of atoms. You split apart atoms, split atoms release energy and other particles, which go and split more atoms. This releases an enormous amount of energy.
So a fun fact about, I guess, nuclear in games. So I played through Separate Ways in Resident Evil 4 Remake recently, and we know why the rockets are red now. It's because they're warheads. Like, it literally just talks about how the rockets at the end of Resident Evil 4, the red-tipped ones, are red to differentiate themselves from normal munitions because they're warheads. And I'm just like, huh. That makes sense now. It was one of those like cool lore. Separate Ways has had a lot of cool callbacks, throwbacks, and like lore bits that I've absolutely I've loved Separate Ways. I need to go through it again at some point. I'll probably play as Krauser. But just, yeah, no. So nuclear power gets a very bad rep. And this is someone who has a basic understanding of certain things. This is someone that is not a nuclear expert. Please, 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 if you're wanting more on this subject, there are many great content creators and scientists out there. You can absolutely pick their brain. In regards to fission, from my understanding, was actually weaker than fusion. And I think that's what the quote-unquote meta of nuclear power is going right now, right? Fusion, I think it's a little cleaner too. I think. It's one of those things that I have a very passing interest in certain disasters, like, was it 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, stuff like that. So I've had to do a little bit of research on it. And it's because safety protocols are really just getting ignored or something goes wrong. That's really been the issue with it.
Nuclear weapon yields are measured in kilotons or megatons, referring to the equivalent amount of TNT that you'd need to detonate to match it. Now, the way you actually go about doing all this is the tricky part.
Isn't TNT actually super inefficient in comparison to like C4? I think I remember hearing something about dynamite actually being really inefficient at what it does. Yeah, no, periodic table, my beloved.
Only one natural element that's fissile, that being uranium. But uranium is pretty common, and by itself not very good for making bombs with.
Yeah.
What you really need is a special isotope of uranium, uranium-235. The most common form of uranium, U-238, can't sustain a nuclear chain reaction, but U-235 can. The only problem is
235 the isotope of it?
99.3% of natural uranium is 238,
Yeah.
whereas U-235 only makes up 0.7%.
Right.
In order to make our bomb, we need to enrich this uranium from 0.7% to over 80%. This is very difficult, because
Yeah.
chemically they're almost the exact same. The only useful difference is that U-238 has 3 more neutrons, which makes it ever so slightly heavier.
Yeah.
The first machine used to enrich uranium was this, the Calutron, a mass spectrometer which enriched 0.7% uranium to 25% uranium at a huge rate of 50 micrograms per hour.
My God, those big numbers right there.
This would take 20,000 hours or 2 years of continuous operation to make 1 single gram. It worked by shooting an ionized beam of uranium through a magnetic field. This
Yeah.
magnetic field would deflect the beam into a collector. Since the U-238 is slightly heavier, it was deflected less than the U-235, which meant you could separate the two just a little bit. The U-235 for the Manhattan Project was made using this method, and thousands of Calutrons were built, but later dismantled for better methods,
Right.
like the gas centrifuge. These bad boys take in uranium hexafluoride gas, put it into a centrifuge spinning
Uranium hexafluoride. Trying to figure out what. I'm trying to remember naming conventions. It's been way too long since I've taken chemistry.
thousands of times per second, and using the slight difference in mass, a very slightly more enriched stream of gas comes out. This needs to be repeated thousands of times.
Right.
And then you get highly enriched uranium hexafluoride, which you can process later into uranium metal. Now that we've got the stuff, we need to find a way to make it go boom. The first nuclear bomb used in war, the Little Boy, used a gun design, where one part of the U-235 was shot into another using chemical explosives. Once the two parts combined, they became critical, and a nuclear chain reaction began.
No, see, here I would argue that people should know how this works. I mean, what in your everyday capacity, right? Your everyday life, right? You go to work, you go to a family dinner, right? When are you really going to use something like this? Not really, never. It's public information. It's science. Just don't use it for ill purposes is what it comes down to, and that's not hard to not use it for ill purposes. If anything, it's a cool fact. You're like, actually, this is what I've actually delved into this, and this is actually how this is.
This was the second ever nuclear detonation and was fairly primitive by today's standards.
No. Especially after what was it, the nuclear Boy Scout incident. I'm sure a lot of these are actually incredibly controlled, and there's got to be checks and balances to that.
Every nuclear weapon these days is a thermonuclear weapon. Thermonuclear bombs are a two-stage design where a regular fission bomb explodes and sets off a secondary fusion stage.
I think Tsar Bomba was a 3-stage, if I remember correctly, right? The Tsar Bomba, I think it was a 3-stage. And also, actually, it detonated at half yield. The scientists last minute decreased its yield by half. So the Tsar Bomba should have been twice as powerful. Keep that in mind.
That's right. They use a nuclear bomb to detonate an even more powerful nuclear bomb. Pure fission bombs can at most achieve 500 kilotons of yield, whereas thermonuclear bombs can go from several hundred kilotons to tens of megatons. The largest of these devices was the Soviet Tsar bomb, which exploded with a yield of 50 megatons.
Half yield, by the way, on explosion.
However, the design of this bomb called for a 100 megaton yield, which was scaled back once they realized that that was dumb. Anyway.
You know, why did I take... See, I'll take that Kip W because I literally explained it, so clearly I know what I'm talking about to some degree. I'll take that Kip W. Thank you, MartinCitoPants, for backing me up on that.
We're going to use all this funky nuclear technology and stick it in this. The B-83 nuclear bomb. A thermonuclear device with a maximum yield of 1.3 megatons. Our delivery vehicle will be this, a hypersonic interplanetary missile. Our target is Kevin's Lathe base, which is well defended with surface-to-air missile batteries and patrolling aircraft. It'll speed towards Lathe, turn on its air-breathing engines, fly low to avoid detection by radar, and deliver our little present to the base. So, let's launch.
I was half expecting a let us begin. I was half expecting a let us meme. Nah, history. I mean, to be fair, it just falls under military history. I mean, it's adjacent, right? Learning about the Tsar Bomba, learning about the arms race. I mean, it's all just history. That's all it is. You learn from history so that you can be better in the future. The number 15 Burger King foot. I kind of want Burger King. I've been kind of craving Burger King, actually, now that you mentioned Burger King lettuce. Big mushroom. Insert your Sokka avatar meme here.
Nice. Moving closer to Kerbin, we have the planet you forgot exists. Drez. This planet is unremarkable. And of course, Kevin forgot to put any sort of military...
Hey look, it's my YouTube upload schedule on the other channels.
there whatsoever. We're going to use this blind spot to build up a very large presence, using the minerals in its surface to construct a weapon. A very special weapon. But that'll take some time and a lot of mining drones.
Many mining.
Moving even closer, Duna, where Kevin has a fairly sizable presence, a base with a few tanks and a whole bunch of surface-to-air missile sites. In some simulations, this base proved to be a tough nut to crack. I tried a helicopter, but Duna's atmosphere was prohibitively thin. I tried some tanks, but Kevin's battalion outgunned us very easily.
Honk.
I tried this high-speed bomber, which was shot down immediately. But then, I had an idea.
Oh no.
You see, nuclear...
Oh no. Dude, MartinCitoPants has an idea. That's when I start worrying. And I know the job will get done. It's just a matter of what's the cost.
Warheads underwent many design iterations during their development. Increased power, deliverable versions in bombs, and smaller warheads. One such development was this. The W9.
The what?
This warhead was small enough that it could be loaded into an artillery shell and fired out of a gun.
Spicy
this gun
artillery!
was called Atomic Annie, and could fire this projectile up to 30 kilometers away. The warhead itself had a yield of 15 kilotons, which was equivalent to Little Boy. Now, this cannon is great, but it's vulnerable to aeroplanes. Lucky for us, though, Kevin assumed that Duna couldn't support any planes since it has no oxygen, and didn't investigate further than that. So no planes to worry about. All we need to do now is send it over. So let's go.
I already love where this is going. It's perfect. It's so stupid. Was never used in combat. Oh, I believe so. Especially if it's an atomic munition. I wouldn't see it. There would be so many countries that would have been like, I don't know about that. Saw that drift. No, there's arguments the Cold War never ended, but that is a debate I will not get into. 3-point shot. 3-point shot. 3-point shot. So bad.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, I think it's time we scale things up. Moving back to Drez, as you can see, we've mined a lot of stuff and completed production of our special weapon. An engine.
Oh.
A really, really big engine.
Big.
But where to move it? We've taken Jewel and Duna. I don't want to destroy Kerbin. And Moho, he's cool.
He's
This
cool.
leaves one last target.
He's cool.
Eve. I don't like Eve one bit. And Kevin has built a lot of stuff on it. SAM sites, surface bases, aircraft, orbiting platforms. But I don't have to deal with that stuff, or with Eve, if it's not there. Gentlemen, start the engine.
Is he just going to ignite the atmosphere? I'm very curious. His editing style is really good. Like, looking back, I mean, I see how his modern style has developed. I really do. It's actually really cool. He's gonna crash. He's gonna crash the... He's pulling a Xeon. He's about to crash the colony. Nice. He took a page out of Char Aznable's book. Never go full Xeon.
What the fuck? Turning our attention back to Kerbin, this is where the bulk of Kevin's force is. He has hundreds of planes, tanks, and drones. But at this point, so do we.
Yeah.
And ours all happen to be stationed in orbit, ready to strike at any moment. And now is that moment.
Let us begin. I haven't seen the lettuce meme this time, and it's getting me. A little disappointed. No, this is really, it's good editing. He's got really good shots. The pacing on it's very well. In between each cut, it's really well done. He's pulling it. Yeah, he's shooting it before they get down. Oh. It's spin. Jesus. He had to have spent many hours getting these. Oh no, it's him.
Where the fuck is Kevin? I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Oh.
Kevin.
Holy fuck.
It's really hard to kind of gauge the soundtrack. We're just gonna talk that. Just gonna talk about he just survived in a zero gravity, no oxygen environment there. You know, take a second to talk about that.
I smell something.
Oh. Is it bad that I was expecting the iRobot no meme? Like, the face looks similar enough. I was waiting here. No.
Ah, Jesus Christ. You're an alien. I fucking knew it. You can't fool me, you little shit. I had you from day one. All right, well, I'm just going to go over here and punch in some numbers. Don't worry about it, Kevin.
He's gonna punch in some funny
And
numbers.
start judging.
Like the three little funny numbers on the back of your credit card.
Kev, I'm sending you back to Proxima Centauri. Clearly where you belong. So see you later, Kevin. May we never meet ever again.
No, it's a good video. I'm just not willing to fight that copyright. I highly absolutely recommend you go and watch the original for the full experience, because I can only do so much. It's perfect. We're at 69,420. Nice.
And that's it, fellas. I'm done. I'm free.
Are you though?
No more KSP.
Are you though?
I'm going on holiday for about a month, but once I'm back, big things are coming. So get subscribed. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. Buy the frog.
Frog.
And I'll see you next time.
I'll have to buy the next one. I missed this one and I missed the second one. I'll have to buy the next one. Frog is too powerful. This was awesome. I absolutely love this. I love seeing... when was this made? Just a year ago. I mean, his editing style is on point. Like, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to make these cuts. He knows what music to pair it with. He's doing a really good job, and I love seeing his evolution. Like, we've seen his ultimate tier list. Like, we've seen other videos of him. We've seen his more recent works. It's actually just awesome. And if you haven't, if this is your first MartinCitoPants video you're seeing, I absolutely recommend you go and check him out. In the description, you will see the video channel name, video link, as well as the video link and the video title. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? You think this was a fulfilling conclusion? Do you think we'll see Kevin again? You know, thoughts on KSP? What have you built in KSP? What mods do you like in KSP? I will see you the next one, though.